Good day, students. How are you doing? This is me again, Mr. Navarro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For today, we'll be talking about adding and subtracting fractions, particularly dissimilar fractions. First, let's define first the similar fractions and dissimilar fractions. Similar fractions are fractions with the same denominators. On the other hand, dissimilar, unlike fractions, are fractions with different denominators. Similar fractions with the same denominators. Okay? So take note of that. We will be focusing with dissimilar fractions only. For example, in halves plus 3/7. Okay? So first things first, we cannot add directly the denominator you cannot add directly the numerator since the denominator are not the same. So we need to find a common denominator to add these fractions. How do we find the common denominator? First, we count by twos. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And when we count by sevens, we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, etc. Okay, so as you have noticed, there is a number that is common to the two sequence. Okay, so sometimes it can be more than one, sometimes it's only one, but you only have to find the smallest one. Okay, so this time it's 14, right? So by that we can conclude that 14 is the common denominator. Okay, what is a common denominator? A common denominator is the first number in common that appears on both lists. Okay, so it's 14 here. So after finding the common denominator, we set it to we write the fractions into vertical manner. Okay, so it's 1/2 plus 3/7. Okay, and then we make them into equivalent fractions. By how? We make the denominator the same. So again, we identified the common denominator, which is 14 earlier. Then how do we get 14 from 2? So we need to multiply something. But what should be the number to be multiplied? So it's correct, it's 7. Okay, we also have to multiply with the numerator. And here, what should be multiplied with 7? It's correct, it's 2, right? And then let's check if you get the same denominator. 2 times 7 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. Then you multiply this. 1 times 7, you'll get 7. 3 times 2, you'll get 6. After having the same denominator, we add the numerators. 7 plus 6 is 13. We copy the denominator, then we add the numerators, which is 13. Therefore, the sum is 13 over 14. Next example, 3/7 plus 1/5. Same thing earlier, we need to find the common denominator. So with the process we did earlier, we count by sevens and we count by fives. So it's 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 45, 49, 56, 63. And we count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So again, we look for the common number but we need to choose the smallest only. Okay, this time it's 35, right? With that, we can say that 35 is our common denominator. So again, we write the fraction into vertical manner, 3/5 plus 1/5. Then we make them equivalent fractions. So what should we multiply with 7 to make it 35? It's 5. And what should we multiply with 5 to make it 35? It's 7. So here, we multiply with numerator and denominator. And then, to check if they have the same denominator, we will multiply 7 times 5, we have 35. 5 times 7, it's 35. Then we multiply 3 times 5, it's 15. 1 times 7, it's 7. After acquiring 35 as the common denominator here, we add the numerators 15 and 7. So 15 plus 7, that's 22. Therefore, we copy the denominator and then we copy the common denominator and then we write the sum of the numerators, 22 over 35. Next example, this time it's subtraction. 3 over 11 minus 1/5. Okay, so again, the same method, we look for the common denominator. First, we count by 11s or 5s, okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. We count by 11s. 11, 22, 40, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77. We look for the smallest common number between the two groups of numbers. So it's 55. For 55 is our common denominator. Okay, 3 11s minus 1/5. So what should we multiply with 11 to make it 55? It's 5. How about 5 to make it 55? It's 11, correct. So 5 above and then 11 here. Then to check if they have the same denominator, 11 times 5, it's 55, and 5 times 11, 55. 3 times 5, it's 15. 1 times 11, obviously it's 11. After having the same denominator, we subtract the numerators. So 15 minus 11 is 4. We copy the denominator and then we write the 4 here in the numerator. Therefore, our answer is 4 over 55. Next example, halves minus 3/10. Same method. Count by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 until 20 and so on. Count by 10s. 10, 20, 30. So obviously our common number is 20. 10. Sir, what about 20? Can we use 20? Of course you can use 20, but it will just double your time solving the problem because you are going to simplify. So why not choose the least one, the smallest one? So it's 10. Okay, so our common denominator is 10. So 1 halves over minus 3/10. So make them equivalent fractions. What should we multiply with 2 to make it 10 again? It's 5. How about 10? It's already 10, therefore we multiply only by 1. But sometimes you may not change this one anymore since you have already the same denominator. So obviously you will only multiply 1, and then if you keep on writing it here, so it will really take time. So if this is the case, just copy this one here Okay, so to check if they have the same denominator, we multiply 2 times 5, it's 10. 10 times 1, it's 10. And then 1 times 5, it's 5. But take note, the sign here is negative. So 3 times 1, 3. So we subtract 5 minus 3, that's 2. Okay, so we copy the denominator and then we write 2. Take note, 2 and 10, they have the same, they have something in common. So you still have to simplify. So this is what I meant earlier, that you can use 20, but it will just double your time taking solving the problem. So if we simplify this one, we will get 1/5. Alright, down to the last example. It's negative 3/5 plus 2/3. Okay, there are times that the negative ones will come first, and then the next is the positive. So the same method, we look for the common denominator. Okay, I wrote it again into vertical manner. Okay, we count by 3's here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. We count by 5's. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So the least common one is 15, right? So therefore 15 is our common denominator. So what should we multiply with 5 to make it 15? It's 3. How about 3 to make it 15? Multiply with 5. Okay, so let's multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 3, that's 9. I mean negative 9, since there is a sign here, negative. So you copy the sign. And then 2 times 5, it's 10. Add the numerators. Take note, you need to copy the negative sign, okay? So negative 9 plus 10, or if you are having a hard time with this type of problem, then you want it to be visible, or you want the order, for you the order matters. So 10 minus 9 equal to 1, right? It's up to you also. Therefore, the answer is, we copy the denominator, and we write the 1 in the numerator. Questions so far? If you have questions, you may type it in the comment section. And then for you to practice, you can have the following items. To check, you may pause in this part, and to check your answer, you may proceed to this section. For more videos and tutorials, you may click the button below subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you.